Hi, welcome to tonight's Divine Energy Flow session. I'm Carla. I don't know if you have been here before. If you have not, then tonight, once or twice a month, we do a live Divine Energy Flow session, which is just a type of energy work. Um, and before that, we do a little bit of a talk about something. And we're doing a series on plant medicine. It's a big part of my life. So tonight we're going to do. I'm going to talk about DMT and Changa because they're basically related. They're basically the same thing. Um, but first, let's take some deep breaths. So let's take one nice deep breath, count to 4 in, hold for 4, and count to 4 out. So let's go ahead and take 3 of these deep breaths, starting now. Hold and release through your mouth. For the sigh if you'd like. Another one. Hold and release. One more. Hold and release whenever you need to. Don't hold it longer than you have to, but there's a stillness in between those breaths that is really, really the point for me to not to breathing, but to doing types of breath work. That stillness in between the breaths is the most special time. See, check it out. Okay, so DMT. So DMT comes from different plants. It's also in most living beings. It's in us. It's our nature. You know, it's in our nature. But what I'm talking about is like the plants that they come from, or the like. It's even made a. You can get synthetic DMT as well. You know, whatever. So I'm here to talk about the experience of it more than anything, and on from a microdose level all the way to a complete breakthrough level. And okay, so I'll talk about DMT first, and then Changa really is pretty much the same except a couple things. So a DMT experience for a microdose, and a microdose of DMT is smoked out of, it's vaporized, so like a glass pipe you would use. A very small amount. I'm not real sure the exact dosage. This is not to get you to do anything. This is just an educational purpose video only. Um, but you smoke it, and if you just smoke a little tiny bit, it'll just be a microdose, and it's just a very, very beautiful energy that kind of like overwhelms you, and you're able to be in sort of like a bubble. It's like a bubble at a microdose level. It's like a bubble. You're really, really present, and there's lots of different shapes and different symmetries and geometries and things like that. Sometimes this is just my experience. Now, for like a microdose, I feel like almost anybody can really do that and be fine. It's pretty chill. It's pretty peaceful and pretty enjoyable. Okay. Now, the higher you go, the deeper you go. Obviously, like with anything. So, like a full dose of DMT. Let's talk about one that you don't completely break through, and I'll kind of explain to you what that is. But you're almost there. So sometimes you will do it, and it will be super energetic, and you'll see, you'll see so many beautiful things and different patterns and all these things, and it's an energetic thing and visual for sure. And sometimes it can be audible. Or different things for different people. Everybody's different. Remember, these things work differently with everyone's chemistry. Really beautiful and just a lot of energy. Now, when you consume enough, where you break through, meaning you literally, what I believe is happening is that your spirit goes to a different place, or your eyes open to your vibration raises or changes to match a different frequency, and it's like the DMT land. Okay. Now, this is pretty typical for what I'm going to tell you. This experience is pretty typical for someone breaking through. You will go to a different place. It'll be an energetic shift quickly, within the first minute or two, an energetic shift where you literally are in a different place, and there are different entities around, the DMT entities or elves they call them, or whatever. They're different looking. They're not like humans. And there'll be these beings, and sometimes they'll come and talk to you. Sometimes they'll interact with you. Sometimes they'll look at you and laugh at you. Sometimes they'll whatever. And I really think it has to do with what kind of mood maybe that we're in, like set and setting type of thing, as to what happens with the entities. I don't know. I mean, probably if you're in a dark place, you might meet up with some darker entities. I mean, you match the level, you know what I'm saying? Your frequency matches what you're going through, basically. So, okay. Now, for me, I love that land. I love the DMT space. It's a beautiful space. It's super energetic. It's like an overwhelming sense that there's so much more than what we see. It's like this knowing. The spiritual aspect for me, for this, is that it lets you know without a shadow of a doubt that there is so much more to this world, that there's so much more to this reality. Without a shadow of a doubt, when you come back from a DMT experience, you know for sure that those things, those beings, and that they were real somewhere in this infinite possibility of multiverse realities and all this stuff, right? So, very cool. But sometimes, and this has never happened to me, but I've witnessed many people take DMT for the first time and not, and and I have witnessed people completely freak out and like, what the hell is going on around? Like, they just freak out because it's not a normal place. Like, it's not. It'll be very unfamiliar, like you're on a different planet. And it can be a little scary. And if you allow yourself to get scared, if you allow that fear in, then it'll just probably do fearful shit to you. Like, really, it's all like your choice as to how you handle this and what happens. Because how you handle it is how it's gonna roll. If you get what I'm saying, like, it'll flow how you handle it. If you completely release control and allow the experience to just take place and not worry about, good or bad or what is this or whatever it is, none of it is hurting. None of it's going to hurt you. It might be scary because it's different and and it might completely screw your whole like belief system and all that up, which is super scary too at first, maybe. It might completely mess your mind up thinking, just for a little while, like, what just happened? What is really going on here? And it'll just take you down a rabbit hole. But like I said, to me, the spiritual nature of DMT, and sometimes okay, so I have seen people that, let me stay there, because I want to make real clear that everyone that I've seen go through a freak out experience on DMT or Changa, which is DMT mixed with other things, other plants that don't cause any psychedelic effects. So it's basically the same thing. Shoot, completely forgot what I was going to say. I always do that. Hold on. Now I started thinking about Changa. Okay, I forgot what I was saying, but I'll probably come back to it. So yeah, those people that go through those experiences always come back. They always come back, and they always end up like, oh my God, that was the best thing I've ever done. So like it might look scary and crazy like when you're watching somebody else, but it's always the same end result. The end result is always yes. Like I would definitely do that again. And maybe not for everyone that I've ever seen. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say about DMT. You can really like there's beautiful visuals. You go up into another land. You can do just a little bit and not have such extreme experiences. Or you can, I mean, why? I mean, there's many different ways that you can do it. It's a beautiful experience. Yeah. So now Changa is DMT. Like sometimes it'll be mixed with an ayahuasca vine, which is a beautiful combination. You got that grandmother spirit in there too. Um, and I've also literally done Changa. Okay, now Changa can be, let me go back a little bit. Some people, for some reason, choose to smoke it in like a cigarette or like a joint, whatever, smoke it, lace it in like a cigarette and smoke it. Um, I do not suggest that. I don't know who came up with that, but it doesn't work. It's not the same thing. It's not the same experience. It's not even like a microdose the same. So I would not smoke it like that. Um, it is to be vaporized. That's how it works. Okay. Now Changa um, is different. It's smoked differently. It's like you would smoke a regular or tobacco or any kind of herb. Um, Changa, I have experienced it where I've taken off like the land of the DMT, like the alien land, and I've had an experience one time where I literally just cried. I just sat there and cried for about 20 minutes. And I wasn't sad. There wasn't happiness or sadness. It was just like a release of tears. It was some sort of a release of energy. I'm not sure what it was, but that was interesting. So you never really know it. I think it really depends on what you need at the moment. You know, if you need the magic of like the visuals, or if you need the healing, or if you need the cleansing, or if you need the whatever, I believe that you will get what you need from the medicine, because I do believe that this is a medicine, as well as many other psychedelics. So, all right, we shall move on to the divine energy flow. So this is going to be, I've included a couple of shamanic tools recently, chikapa, which you normally see like in an ayahuasca ceremony, um, used for energy cleansing. And for me, this sends blessings out to you, to the world, to whoever it is that I'm doing this for. Also going to use a drum at the beginning, okay, just to clear some energy. I'll be using Palo Santo stick to smudge, and so during this energy work, whatever I do is sent straight to you. You don't have to worry about that. You're not near me. That does not matter in this work. Energy knows no boundaries. So at this moment, you can just lie back or sit down. You don't have to watch me. You'll be hearing sounds. You'll be maybe not hearing anything. I might not look like I'm doing anything sometimes, but I am. Don't worry about it. I'll be doing something. I know what I'm doing. And then sometimes it will be like a whistle. Sometimes it'll be instruments. So just relax, allow the energy to flow, allow yourself to be cleared, allow your space to be cleared, and just relax, accept it, set an intention that only the perfect amount of energy goes exactly where it needs for you right now. If there's anything physically bothering you, set the intention to go ahead and try to help that area. Send the healing, send the love. All right. Just receive the blessing from the Palo Santos. Receive. Just receive the blessing. Take some deep breaths. Stay present. So at this time, you can either get up and go about your evening, or you can go to sleep and take this time and just allow yourself to be in a meditative state. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it made you feel better in some type of way. If it did, let me know. Be back next. Well, it's not next week. I'm not real sure when the next one will be. I think that I'm going to do one on integration maybe next time, probably in 2 weeks. Because I've talked about all these medicines, but I've never talked about integration, and that is a huge, huge, massive part of this. If you don't integrate, then you're doing all this for nothing, and you might, yeah, it might not be a good thing. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me to send you some energy, and thank you for being here. See you next time. Thank you.